Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Data Dispatch. I hope you guys are having a great day and happy 4th of July. We got this celebration shirt on here representing all the grillers out there in the world. And also, of course, thank you for 15,000 subscribers. I can't thank you guys enough. It's been an incredible journey and I love making content for you guys regarding the market and all the data that you guys really deserve from a non-biased perspective. We're going to be talking about Palantir Technologies, the whole market, and what we can expect tomorrow because it's going to be the last trading day of the week. We're going to have jobs data that will be released, and also we have some interesting large political figures coming back into NVDA stock and Broadcom. We have a lot to digest here. If you are a new or returning viewer, hit that like button, subscribe for daily videos, and of course, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm collecting all the data and dispatching it to you. Now, what we see with Palantir Technologies, we had that shortened trading day yesterday and Wednesday, closing here at 25.85. The market really didn't do a ton. We saw kind of some consolidation basically, and that's because everybody was getting ready for the holiday. Now, what we see is an important technical pattern that is being set up with PLTR right now. We're going to be talking about some articles that are kind of basically hypothesizing this possible breakout into the 30s, especially with earnings now that is about a month away. Time does go quick. Now, what we see with PLTR in terms of technical patterns that are being set up, everybody is talking about this cup and handle pattern. Now, hold on to that because we're going to be highlighting that and correlating that with some of the articles that we do need to review. Now, specifically talking about here, a price breakout could happen in the near future. That's what this article is talking about here. Now, one of the big things that we of course need to reference first is earnings expected to happen around August 7th. We don't have that official date yet, as Wall Street is looking for an adjusted EPS of about 8 cents on a revenue of about 653 million. Now, right now, Palantir is on track for about a 32% earnings growth and still 22% revenue growth. Now, what we see in terms of the retail investment community and also the institutional investment community has really been big on PLTR this year. And what we're seeing with this cup and handle pattern right here is still developing, but now the relative strength is in a better position without being technically overbought. And this is where this is starting to capture a lot of investors in attentions. And now what we see with Palantir for target price, when we've seen reiterations, is going up to about that $30 level right now. So with the bullish pattern that we're seeing being set up here, on top of earnings expectations, we're going to start to see more volatility coming into the stock. One of the big questions here, also with some of the different data here, talking about the moving averages, different things, all the technical, you can get very technical on this, but things are aligning. The stars are coming up here, possibly to about that $30 level. Now, what we see at PLTR at that 26, where it basically stands at right now, is really a key resistance point. So I think if PLTR has enough volume to come up into it, and we see that momentum that continues along with the market here, coupling with positive data in terms of the jobs data that will be released and inflationary pressures that are still showing signs of cooling, this is where I think we can see the correlation coexist that PLTR could possibly beat past that $26 level of resistance. Now, in terms of this $30, what we're seeing here, like I said, articles starting to come out talking about 30s. One of the big things, of course, the biggest type of criticism that you see for PLTR is the valuation. Now, long-term price to earnings ratio, comparing it to the S&P 500, of course, we see it being higher, but lots of arguments here that Palantir stock's price already kind of factors in the optimistic expectation of the robust revenue growth and margin expansion, and basically suggesting here caution for investors getting into PLTR. Of course, there is speculation here, and Palantir, in terms of a historical perspective, has always traded at a pretty high valuation. So that's not something that I think is going to be something that will basically harbor what my personal opinion and expectations are going to be over here within the next month in terms of the short term with earnings coming out. Let's take a second to thank the sponsor of this video, MooMoo. Now, MooMoo is your one-stop trading app that offers free commission trading along with very powerful investment tools, making it easier for you to make those confident decisions within the market. Right now, new users can sign up utilizing my welcome bonus down in the description, and you can get up to 8.1% limited time APY on uninvested cash and up to 15 free stocks with a deposit. You also can get up to a $300 transfer in bonus. So you do not want to miss out on those rewards. Make sure you check out MooMoo down in the description. Back to the video. Now, talking about what we are seeing, especially with PLTR, we mentioned that resistance at the 26 right here. If we fail to see that resistance being met, remember there is incredible support at the $20 zone. So we're not always talking about things always going up. If things were to come down, it's important to really try to rely on some of those consolidation periods and important reversals that were triggered. That was at the 20. Let's talk about what we are expecting in the market. Tomorrow, it'll be interesting to see kind of what volume's coming in. Like I said, with right between this holiday and holiday weekend, we see the jobs report that's going to be coming on Friday. Now, when the jobs report is expected to be released is basically 8:30 Eastern Time. And economists right here, they're expecting payrolls to show about a gain of about 189,000, cooling from May's rise of 272,000 in terms of payroll jobs. Now, the jobless rate is forecast to remain at about 4%, down from about 4.1% in May. We're starting to see this rally that is continuing across the markets. We see this, number one, with NVDA. NVIDIA is still doing well. And what we do have right here, Pelosi loading up again on shares of NVIDIA. Now, we do know that Pelosi right here, she is basically one of the most watched politicians on her stock trades because they have been incredibly lucrative in terms of return on investment. Now, what we've seen with NVIDIA, we've seen, number one, Morgan Stanley, big analysts coming together, raising their price target. So where NVIDIA sits right now is at about 130, sitting at 128 exactly. But with NVIDIA, we've seen price targets that have been starting to climb, talking about the 150 area. We've seen 144, I believe, from Morgan Stanley. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that was around that area. But kind of long story short, analysts still very bullish. We had robust data sales, and now you have Pelosi coming in here and adding new positions. What she did was she purchased 10,000 shares of NVIDIA worth between $1 million and $5 million, and also purchased 20 different calls on Broadcom with a strike price of $800. Now, these expiration dates are long. We're talking a year here, June 20th of 2025, value between the range of 1 to 5 million. Now, target prices for NVIDIA, like I said, analysts still coming up here, 135 for the 12-month forecast, and that's even with any type of bearish expectations. In terms of driven in basically momentum in the AI market, it is still continuing with this industry. We also see Tesla stock, another big stock that is going to help possibly bring up the market. Right here, extending its weekly gain up to 24.6% after jumping 8.1% in the last week. Now, we see shares right now are extended from the 191. It says buy point right here, and that Tesla is coming up this extremely fast trend line. Will we see a pause for Tesla? And what is happening with Tesla that we possibly don't know behind the scenes? Very interesting to see the amount of momentum and buying pressure coming into this stock. Otherwise, that's really all that I have for you guys happening in the market right now. It'll be interesting to see what happens with PLTR. What do you guys think about this possibility hypothesis of this $30 breakout area that we're kind of predicting here? And what do you think is going to be happening with the jobs data in terms of course, the probability for the first interest rate cuts? And what do you think about Pelosi's position on NVIDIA? I think it is incredibly important to really watch what these politicians are doing in terms of the actual positions that they are taking and reporting in their filings, because we've seen some good returns on their investments. Do you think we're going to see more of a rush coming into NVIDIA? Peace out, take care, and I'll catch you guys later.